Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal and you are watching the Mojo story. Gujarat High Court has dismissed Rahul Gandhi's review petition seeking a stay on his conviction in Modi surname defamation case. Now, the court has said that a stay on conviction must be an exception rather than a norm. Now, it means that his disqualification as an MP will not be reversed for now. On previous counts, the trial court and the session court had denied him interim protection. Now, the option before Rahul Gandhi is that he can approach the Supreme Court, or the case can go into a larger bench of the High Court. A BJP MLA, Purnesh Modi, had filed a case against Rahul Gandhi. In a rally, Rahul Gandhi had said that why do all thieves have Modi as their surname? To discuss this, we are joined by a prominent panel. We're joined by Siddharth Rajput, who's a BJP spokesperson, Shraddha Rajput, who's a BJP spokesperson, sorry. We're also joined by PKD Nambiar, political analyst. Madhavan Narayanan joins us, senior journalist, and Ashpreet Khadial, the Congress spokesperson. Ashpreet, if I may start with you, why is the Congress saying that the judgment is erroneous? It's passed through different courts, through the trial court, the session court, and now the High Court, and each court has stuck to the same thing. It has not upturned the verdict of the previous court.
Thank you so very much for the question. First and foremost, let's understand that there are alternatives that are there to this. First, an appeal lies in the Honorable Supreme Court, first remedy. Second remedy, a review petition. Third remedy, a curative petition. Fourth remedy, a mercy petition. And fifth remedy, review of that very mercy petition. Number two, can the Bharatiya Janata Party's spokesperson here in this debate tell me one example? I won't even ask for two, just one example where anyone has been convicted for 2 years in a defamation case. Number three, can they give me one more example with regards to any conviction with regards to a defamation case wherein in the appeal the conviction has not been stayed? Because in my legal experience, I have never ever seen it. And therefore, my question to the Bharatiya Janata Party begets an answer from them on this. And number three, is the law only for the opposition? Because the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders have been saying words like Saddam, Dayan, Pappu, raincoat pehen ke nahana kaise hai for the former Prime Minister. These words were used. But has there been any action taken against any of the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders? The answer to that is no. Does the law not apply on the Bharatiya Janata Party? Do we not have equality? Do we not have freedom of speech and expression? They can say anything. They can do anything. It can be defamatory. It can be derogatory. It can be discriminatory. Right. But there wouldn't be any prosecution that would follow that.
Ashpreet, so my question Ashpreet, why should a BJP spokesperson answer this question? It is the verdict that has been passed by the court.
Yeah, the BJP spokesperson should answer this question because the Bharatiya Janata Party is a part of this debate and they have been saying things to Mr. Gandhi. They have been saying that, Mr. Gandhi is guilty of it. Whereas, a matter of fact, the Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders have said things which are of a much higher magnitude, much more intense. Despite that, there has been nothing done against those leaders. So I ask this question. It's not something, it's not a punishment. And this, I do hope the Bharatiya Janata Party would acknowledge that.
Okay, you asked that question. Let's
complete, please. Yeah. So we happen to be living in the world's largest democracy. I don't think so. We should do away with the culture of asking questions. I hope the Bharatiya Janata Party would have an answer to my two very specific questions. And if not, the Bharatiya Janata Party, instead of dodging and ducking it, should say that we do not have an answer to this question like many others.
You have to give her a chance to speak first. Shraddha Rajput, please have your response.
First of all, I would like to tell I'm a doctor, I'm not a lawyer. In the future also, I'm not going to be a judge of this country like in lower court or Supreme Court or any other court. See, my brother, this is totally verdict is given by the Honorable Judiciary, whether it is in a Surat lower session court or High Court, Gujarat High Court. So I'm not nowhere else, not my party nowhere else. And what you told about that so many words is spoke by so many persons. See, Rahul Gandhi is not a newcomer. I think so. He is a very privileged child and now privileged youth. He has seen his great grandfather, grandmother, and his father. They all are the honorable prime minister of this country. He know what is the public life, and he know more than me, more than you, and whatever we all are sitting. He knows more than us how to behave, what are the conducts in the public life, what to speak. In court also they asked for the apology how he denied. And in Congress you people have a good number, and I think very intellectual lawyers are in the Congress. Why nobody has didn't advise him that if you are not going for the apology, this kind of circumstances will be happen. So I think nobody has given the right advice to Rahul Gandhi ji. What will be the what will be the repercussion happen after this. So I think somebody is in the Congress who manipulated the entire things. So first of all, the Rahul
Right.
Gandhi has to look into that, who has the manipulated the entire thing. And here
Okay.
he spoke something about the particular caste. Why
Right.
you have a personal problem with the Narendra Modi? Okay, you can comment on him. Definitely you can comment on BJP. Definitely you can comment on the any policy which is run by the Modi Sarkar. You can have some words or criticize anything. We do not have any problem. But in between your criticism, why you criticize particular caste?
Right.
Here we
The
are not
point has
allowed to
been
criticize any
yeah,
particular
yeah.
caste or religion in our public life.
Shraddha, you made your point. Madhavan, on expected lines, the BJP making a point and the Congress making a point. What's the sense that you make of it?
Well, it's very simple. I have come out with a simple one-line description. The Congress is, I mean, if you listen to the Congress spokesperson just now, the number of petitions they are filing in the case, uh, nobody is a fool in this game. The BJP wants to use the judiciary to show Rahul Gandhi in a bad light, but uh, politically. But for the Congress, this is a judicial challenge which is actually being converted into a political opportunity. Let us take it case by case, or rather aspect by aspect. The first aspect is that there is a election looming less than 12 months from now, and the parliament has already not been functioning, and to that extent, Rahul Gandhi is already in election mode, and to that extent, being disqualified from parliament is not really a big deal because the stakes for him are much higher as a intended or likely or perceived leader of a very major opposition party. The second thing is that Abhishek Manu Singhvi, the Congress spokesman, has said as much, and we know it now from the spokesperson here, that Congress is actually pursuing a strategy of public focus on this defamation case systematically so that the attention stays, so that they are reasonably sure that they will get a reversal of the Gujarat verdict somewhere, either in one of the higher courts benches or something, or maybe a technical detail will come out in Supreme Court. I'd like to point out that 40 million cases of defamation are pending in Indian courts, as per my research. And defamation conviction is very rare, and particularly not in cases where there is a vague reference to something like Modi. You don't know which Modi is talking about. Much worse things have been said in politics, including 50 crore ki girlfriend, which Mr. Modi himself used. So, therefore, when you have this kind of a scenario, uh, what is happening is, in fact, it's not perhaps the best parallel, but I liken this to how Bhagat Singh, when he was tried by the British, said that I'm doing this, I want the trial because the trial will be an opportunity for me to put forward my case on the British rule before the people. Now, what happens if, let's say, a higher court hears this case? Immediately, Rahul Gandhi will say Modi this, Adani that, and the details will come out, summons will be made, and the public eye in an election year will be focused on this. So, on the face of it, this is a setback for Congress, but in reality, it is using it like a bouncer in cricket if it wants to hook for over mid wicket for a six, to use my favorite
Well,
cricket analogy.
that's an interesting analogy that you're a bouncer, but it's hit towards the boundary for a six.
Attempted hit,
PKD, you
not
want
a
to come
four.
in?
Yeah.
Yeah, PKD, you want to come in?
Yeah. Well. Well, I will tell you, I am surprised. Nobody is talking about what the court said. The court said that Rahul Gandhi has got, this is not the only case against him. There are multiple cases of the similar nature is already there. More than 10 odd cases are pending. So he's a serial offender when it comes to this. And the most important thing in this, I'm not talking about the merit or demerit, and the Congress can say anything. It's all the judiciary which is taking all these decisions. In fact, let me tell you this. Even the trial court has given an opportunity for Rahul Gandhi to apologize and get out of it. And you know what was the reply of Rahul Gandhi? Such an arrogant way. And I really take so much of these things on I am not a Savarkar who will apologize. And does he know that who is the real Savarkar? He's the one who has spent his 11 years of in Andaman jail and one of the greatest son of Indian freedom movement. And you are blaming him even when you are stuck in a court which is giving you an opportunity to be getting out of this. And 10 odd similar cases. Now, my friend from the Congress, I sometimes feel that you are a lawyer. I have a lot of lawyer friends and I debate quite often with the lawyers. Don't go in this victimhood. Since it is a judicial order, you can go to the higher courts. As you explained, there are 7 other opportunities lying in front of him. That's a shame for a leader of a political party which ruled this country of 55 years or more, and a leader who is still considered to be the youth icon of this country is using such kind of words. Not only for one person, it is not about Narendra Modi. It is not about just about a caste. I am not even bothered about it. I think this verdict is going to open up a very good system for all the politicians, irrespective of all political party.
Right.
So they mind your language. You are in a public life. You are supposed to be the role model for the people. But rather than that, you just don't go and make allegations. Let me tell you one more thing. Another good quality of Rahul Gandhi: hit and run. Modi chor hai. Kaise chor hai? Kahan se chor hai? You go to if Congress spokesperson or congressmen feel that others also do speak, then why don't they go to the court? The same similar kind of place where they can go. Why they have not gone once against Narendra Modi?
Yes. Point made, PKD. We want to hear the bite, what exactly Rahul Gandhi said, which really triggered all of this. If we can play that bite.
30,000 करोड़ रुपए आपकी जेब से निकालकर उसकी जेब में
ಸುಮಾರು 8,000 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನ 15,000 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೇಬಿನಿಂದ ಹಣ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ದೇಶ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪರಾರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೆಹುಲ್ ಚೋಕ್ಸಿ ಅವರು ಕೋಟ್ಯಾಂತರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣವನ್ನ ಈ ದೇಶದಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಲಲಿತ್ ಮೋದಿ ಅವರು ದೇಶದ ಹಣವನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಪರಾರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
अच्छा, एक छोटा सा सवाल, इन सब के नाम, इन सब चोरों के नाम मोदी 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 कैसे हैं?
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ನನ್ನ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಳ್ಳರ ಹೆಸರು ಕೂಡ ಮೋದಿ 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 ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ?
नीरव मोदी, ललित मोदी, नरेंद्र मोदी, और अभी थोड़ा ढूंढेंगे तो और बहुत सारे मोदी निकलेंगे.
Ashpreet, how does all of this help? We know that Rahul Gandhi went on a Bharat Jodo Yatra and he garnered a lot of support and his stature as a leader increased. But now it's back to the square one. These things are not really helping either Rahul Gandhi or the Congress party.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. See, the Bharatiya Janata Party, first and foremost, did not have any answers to the questions I asked. I asked, is there any precedent wherein a person has been convicted in a defamation case for an equal period of time? And the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson said, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a doctor. Well, that's for the Bharatiya Janata Party to see. But we have questions that are asked in a debate, and if you do not have answers to that, you cannot just get away with it by saying that I'm not a lawyer. Because I'll tell you, being a lawyer, that there is no precedent. There is no parallel at all whatsoever. And number two, I want to ask the Bharatiya Janata Party this one thing. Another question that was posed to you, that why, and this disturbance, may I request my fellow panelists to introduce themselves. So, number two, thank you. The Bharatiya Janata Party did not answer this question of mine, that if you say what Mr. Gandhi said was defamatory, What about the words that have been uttered by your leaders against Congress party's leaders? Is it not wrong? Let's not go into the details. Let's not go into the technicalities. But if you say what Mr. Gandhi has said is defamatory, then is what your leaders what your leaders are saying not defamatory as well? Saddam, Pappu, raincoat remark, and Diane, are these words not to be condemned? The Bharatiya Janata Party spokespersons in individual capacity could tell me, are these words right or are they wrong? Number 3, see, the Bharatiya Janata Party should know one thing, that the Congress party will give its best. Our resolve to fight this has only grown stronger and has only been strengthened. We'll give you a befitting reply in the political arena, and we will fight it out in the legal scenario as well. The Bharatiya Janata Party should just come here and tell us that is the Bharatiya Janata Party not going to be prosecuting all the leaders that have been using words such as the ones that have been quoted, number 1. Number 2, the Bharatiya Janata Party should also tell us one thing. Should there not have been disqualification for all those leaders that have been uttering words against the Congress party's leaders which are not, which do not fall under freedom of speech and expression? Because Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause A has certain restrictions. It cannot be defamatory, it cannot be derogatory, it cannot be discriminatory. But the words that I've talked about, uttered by your leaders against Congress party, have been all 3. And despite that, there has been no prosecution that followed it up. And number 4, the Bharatiya Janata Party that has, time and again, basically given statements. Not one Bharatiya Janata Party's leader could address the questions that have been asked by Mr. Singhvi, the questions that have been asked by the Congress Party spokespersons, because there are no answers at all. And the people who are supporting the Bharatiya Janata Party on this, and
you made your point. You made your point very clearly, but let her respond. It seemed that you again repeated what you said earlier. You want clear
because
answers.
there was no answer to it. There was no answer to it.
Yes. The point that she's making is that she's making it. It's not individual specific. That this comment was directed to a community. But Shraddha, you can please reply. You can please respond.
Brother, first of all, I'm not a judge. Judgment is given by the judiciary, and I do have faith in my judiciary. Though I am not a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm a citizen. I do have a faith in my judiciary. So you are a lawyer, you better know why this kind of judgment is came. You know better than me in terms of technicalities. And see, you are talking about the defamation. You, whatever the word you, please.
Let her complete
please,
first. Let her finish.
Please. You talked about so many words. See, here why you are becoming personal. Here, whatever is said by the Rahul Gandhi ji, he spoke something about the Modi caste community. He has personally targeted so many times Narendra Modi ji. Sonia Gandhi spoke मौत का सौदागर. कब फाइल किया बीजेपी ने defamation का case? You spoke about something which Modi community which is coming from the OBCs. Okay, you spoke सारे मोदी चोर होते हैं. For that, Purnesh Modi ji filed the complaint कि आपको नरेंद्र मोदी जी को जो बोलना है personally in your capacity you target Narendra Modi. You have been Congress has been targeting Narendra Modi since long. See, but you targeted one of the particular community which is coming from the OBC. Why? First of all, give me the answer. There is a two different thing. Why you are manipulating the things? That's why I am saying you people are manipulating, and there are someone who is behind this manipulation, who has given a very wrong advice to Rahul Gandhi ji. Why he spoke ke Savarkar nahi hu? Who is he to talk up like this? See, something which is you spoke and you got
right. Let him quickly respond, and then we'll go to Madhavan quickly.
So on one hand, the BJP spokesperson says I'm not a judge, and then the Bharatiya Janata Party spokespersons act as if the BJP spokesperson was the judge, jury, and the executioner of this debate, because saying that the statement that was made was with regards to the entire community. How can you prove that? How can you say that? Did Mr. Gandhi tell you that it was made for the community? I mean, there has to be some sort of substantiation. There has to be some sort of logic to it. There is none. And I asked the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson, before you attribute this to Mr. Gandhi, how can you say that? How can you say that this remark was for the entire community and not for one individual? What is the logic behind it? There is none. And that's why the questions that have been asked by Mr. Manu Singhvi, I could have repeated them in this debate, but they've already been asked. It's already out and about amongst the media, amongst the people. There is no point of repeating them. But I had some questions of my own. And the BJP spokesperson clearly failed to answer any one of them. 3 important questions, none has been answered. That's how the BJP gets exposed every time.
For the OBC specific, there are no political motives. Do you really think so? Is that really true?
Is the question for me?
Yeah, yes, Madhav.
Your voice was.
I'm saying that BJP is insisting that it's not person specific. It's a fight for the OBC community, and there are no political motives attached to it. Do you really think that's the case?
Yes, 100%.
No, I'm asking Madhavan. I'm asking Madhavan this question.
No, I think let's be very clear, Zafar. We can go round and round the mulberry bush on this with this tutu meme. I want to zero in on 2 aspects, which is politics and the merit of the case. Yeah. I see a googly from the Congress in this. I'll tell you where the googly lies. BJP believes that it is a slur on the OBC community called Modis. And Rahul Gandhi, if you watch the video carefully, he says, why are all these people called Modi? By implication, it is that he is accusing the government of some kind of an unfair kinship practice where the high office of the Prime Minister is being abused for personal gains by people who are well connected. Now, this is the implication and the what you call innuendo. Now, how this plays out is more important to us. We are not here in a guessing game as such in terms of who will win, but we are creating a perspective in this. The perspective is that in a court of law, if questions are asked on why the name Modi was invoked, immediately the Congress lawyer or the representative is bound to say this is because we think there has been an abuse of public office by the Prime Minister to help his own kin. Now, this kind of a situation in an election year is politically ammunition for Congress. It is a risky gambit, but the Congress is taking a calculated risk built around that. The BJP, on the other hand, is also taking a calculated risk because the judiciary always carries a certain weight and respect among the people. Therefore, I'm just explaining 2 strategies here. It's like Australia versus England in the Ashes. Both parties have their, if you win the toss and put the other person to bat, there is a logic behind this. On the last day, it might help our bowlers more than it will help their batsmen. So similarly, we have a strategy here. Closer to the election, questions raised on Modi or Arani or Nirav Modi or Mehul Choksi is going to go towards, over the next 6 to 8 months, the game will shift from the judicial courts to the court of the people. Congress' strategy is to shift the focus towards that. And today, the Congress spokesperson here has actually revealed the cards, which is like sort of breaking news, if you ask me, because no media is actually reporting this as news. They have a series of petitions. Think of it like bunkers in a war. This is a judicial and public war in which there are intellectual bunkers being erected by the Congress.
Yeah.
I see this as some kind of a military strategy in an electoral war. So we have to
military.
BJP is not going to keep quiet in this. Let us be very clear.
Yeah.
They have not only spokesperson nor lawyers, they also have so many so-called analysts who are essentially batting for the BJP. They are not like journalists like me. So essentially everybody will tell their own story and the narratives will be built up over the few months. There are, of course, ordinary people of the country. They have to worry about inflation, unemployment, farming issues, and all that. And it all depends on how this narrative settles in the mind of the people. Mood ki baat hai ye. So what we'll be doing is to watch this game and how it unfolds. But all I want to say is that the Congress has converted a judicial challenge into a political opportunity, and they are not fools.
But that's a extremely interesting analysis. Military strategy in an electoral war. But
Can I
PKD,
clarify?
before I go to you, I want to go to PKD because we lost him briefly. We want to play the sound bite of Ravi Shankar Prasad. What exactly he had to say.
लगभग 7-8 डिफेमेशन केस चल रहा है उनके खिलाफ, और ये तो उन्होंने ओबीसी का सीधा अपमान किया। पहली बात हमें पूछनी है कांग्रेस पार्टी से, आज आप राहुल गांधी को कंट्रोल क्यों नहीं कर सकते? उनको ठीक ठाक बोलने की ट्रेनिंग क्यों नहीं दे सकते? आपके नेता है ना वो। अगर इसी ओबीसी मामले में वो माफी मांग लिए होते तो मामला खत्म हो गया होता। और याद करिए, सूरत के ट्रायल कोर्ट ने उनसे कहा कि आप माफी मांगेंगे, उन्होंने माफी मांगने का अवसर भी दिया था। तो उनकी टिप्पणी क्या है? आई एम नॉट सावरकर दैट आई विल अपोलोजाइज। एक महान देशभक्त वीर सावरकर, जिसने 11 साल अंडमान में गुजारे, उसके बारे में कितनी नफरत है उनके दिल में, ये समझिए आप। तो सावरकर के पोते ने भी एक केस किया है, वीर सावरकर को उन्होंने विदेश में भी अपमानित किया। तो अपमानित करना, बेइज्जत करना, एब्यूज करना राहुल गांधी की फितरत है। आई रिपीट, it has become a chronic habit of Mr. Rahul Gandhi to abuse, to defame, and almost showering the worst kind of abuses against eminent leaders and organizations.
PKD, well, doesn't this disqualification also entail that people of the constituency will not be represented in the parliament? Of course, he won't be attending the monsoon session of the parliament. Please unmute. We can't hear you, PKD. If you can unmute. Yeah, we seem to be having some problem with the line there. But if I ask the same question to Shraddha Rajput, isn't it stopping the representative of the people from putting their voice in the parliament? Of course, this is a verdict of the court, but nevertheless, they go unrepresented in the monsoon session.
See, who told that audience in front of public, which was passed by the Honorable Manmohan Singh ji? Rahul Gandhi ji. Okay, so now my brother will comment on this. See, I told you that me and so many people in Congress, BJP or in other parties are coming from the non-political background. It's we have chose to come into the public life. It is our responsibility what will be our public conduct, how we have to speak in front of public, which kind of vocabulary we must have to use, why there is a derogatory remarks, why we are defaming anybody just because I have a power, I have a privilege, I have a stage, I have a mic, I have a voice, so I can defame anybody anytime in whatever I wanted to say. That kind of attitude is Rahul Gandhi's, is not mature attitude. See, my humble request to Congress party, we as an Indian, we want a respect, whether we are coming from whatever the caste or religion, we want a respect from all the people who are coming into the politics or public life. This kind of conduct is not acceptable by Indian people. So which kind of the sympathy Congress right now talking about the sympathy. See, no, we Indians never believe in this kind of sympathy, where you just spoke something about some of the cards like Modi aise hain, Gujarati aise hain, ye aise hain, wo aise hain. Why? Do you have any particular intellectual debate? See, this scheme is not run by the Modi government, which is failed. This scheme have this kind of cons. this scheme is not good for the India. Ayushman is not working. Ayushman has this kind of pros and cons. No, they do not have anything about the government schemes or government policy. They have only one specific agenda: how to use derogatory remarks and defame the Prime Minister, sir, in India, out of India. And in that, they used something very dangerous and derogatory remarks of the Modi community, the OBC community, Veer Savarkar ji. See, I was not there to tell Rahul Gandhi ji कि आप सावरकर जी को ये बोल दो, मोदी कम्युनिटी को ये बोल दो, और ये ऑडियंस जो मनमोहन सरकार जी लाए हैं उसे पब्लिकली फाड़ के फेंक दो. I was not there. At least my brother was there. He may understand.
Gandhi was disqualified. He in fact spoke about that. Before I go to Ashpreet, maybe we can play that sound bite.
I've been disqualified because the Prime Minister is scared of my next speech. He's scared of the next speech that is going to come on Adani, right? I've seen it in his eyes. So he's terrified of the next speech that is going to come, and they don't want that speech to be in Parliament. That's the issue. That is why first the distraction, now the disqualification. Please don't be confused about this matter. There is a deep relationship between Narendra Modi ji and Mr. Adani. There is a question. 20,000 crore rupees have suddenly arrived in Mr. Adani's shell companies. Where has this money come from? Whose money is it? It is, some of these companies are defense companies. Why is the defense ministry not asking this question? Why is the defense ministry not asking the question? But please explain to us, whose money is this that is being spent on our drone development, that is being spent on our missile development, that is being spent on our ordnance production? Why is the defense ministry not asking this question?
Ashpreet, why is he bringing Adani in the picture? It's a very simple case. The trial court had asked Rahul Gandhi to apologize, and the case it would have been over. As Madhavan says, that it looks like a strategy of the Congress. In fact, they are playing onto this strategy for their gains in the electoral gains, because from the judicial courtroom, it will be played in the political arena in the elections.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to answer a few questions that have been posed by my fellow panelists. A gentleman sitting here who's a senior journalist said that the Congress has this so-called power, military power, something that's what the term that was used. Let me answer to that question. What I told you were basically alternate remedies. I wasn't talking about the plan of action that the Congress party has. The plan of action is very simple: to appeal the decision. And this is what the ordinary course of action would be of any individual who has been to the High Court. The next course lies to the Supreme Court. But I was talking of all the remedies, and that shouldn't be seen as our course of action. Number two, I want to answer this this question that has been posed by the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. That Mr. Gandhi has been rightfully disqualified. Answering to that question, first and foremost, does the BJP not know this, that Mr. Gandhi's sentence has been suspended? And if the sentence has already been suspended, then why did the Bharatiya Janata Party have to show so much haste when it came to disqualifying Mr. Gandhi? Now, talking of specific political events, the Bharatiya Janata Party was basically concerned with Mr. Gandhi's questionnaire. Time and again, Mr. Gandhi was asking them questions about Mr. Adani, and the Bharatiya Janata Party tried to mute his mic in the parliament, tried to expunge his statements in the parliament, tried to oust him from the parliament, tried to stop him from speaking outside of the parliament. When it all did not work, he was disqualified. And the Bharatiya Janata Party is very happy because it thinks that there would be no more questions. But let me tell you, the questions will only get louder, the questions will only increase, and you will be made accountable. Since we are living in the world's largest democracy, you will have to answer our questions. And number two, can you please tell me one thing? Since we were discussing how right the decision is, there are certain ingredients that defamation has. One of the ingredients is there has to be malice on part of the sayer. Now, Mr. Gandhi did not have any malice with regards to the community. None at all. There was no remote connection in his statement with the community. It wasn't meant for it. It wasn't attributed to it. However, if the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson says that, give me three things. One, malice on his part, Mr. Gandhi's part. Show me. Number two, and for that you'll have to tell me something in history. If Mr. Gandhi said something of the sort in the history. Number two, show me if there was any personal loss or damage of the complainants. And let's understand one thing. All the complainants in these kind of cases against Mr. Gandhi are Bharatiya Janata Party's office bearers. Small, medium, big, irrespective of that, they are BJP's office bearers. So this goes on to suggest that the Bharatiya Janata Party does not really want people, leaders who are the representatives, who are the mouthpieces of people, to exercise their freedom of speech and expression. And if the BJP spokesperson can answer this question, I would love to hear it.
Well, this is a verdict by the court. Of course, we want to bring in Madhavan here. Again, coming back to the reference of Adani and, Rahul Gandhi saying that he's being blocked from speaking about Adani. He did speak about Adani in the parliament last time. Madhavan, you want to come in?
I want to comment two things. One, of course, speaking on mentioning Adani is not the issue. The question is of the Congress is demanding a joint parliamentary committee on Adani to raise a lot of detailed questions. That is not being sort of allowed. That is become a political issue. But in this particular case, the Gujarat case, the important point based on what the Congress spokesperson just now said, it's a very interesting point. If all the petitioners are BJP activists or officials, in the Kerala High Court, in a certain case of concerning a woman, I think cited section 354 and said that, look, if a woman is, being pursued for defamation, she can, she has some kind of a claim to say that she's being harassed. So there is a case of, there is a way of looking at the case as a defamation, as a construed as a political harassment. That is what the Congress spokesperson was saying, and that makes it very interesting. And as far as I'm concerned, the conviction rate in defamation cases, because the law very clearly says injury to a person, to community itself. There is no class action provision for communities in the Indian Constitution, as far as I know. The other aspect is that how do you take it to the conclusion in a court of law? As far as disqualification in Parliament is concerned, Rahul Gandhi is almost wearing it like a badge of honor now. So it's becoming simply a war of narratives, and that is how we should look at it. The real question is whether defamation works as a narrative thing in an election. Where you have to, if for instance, if Modi had a stature, let's say comparable to an Ambedkar, I mean, that is simply not working now. Like BJP is using Savarkar as an icon to say, look, if you say this about Savarkar, people will be upset. That is the BJP's thinking process. Now, the Congress thinking process is that if we do the same with Modi, how will it work? So, for this strategy to work for the BJP, Modi's personality or personal popularity has to be so high that a defamation verdict against Rahul in favor of Modi will electorally work in favor of the BJP. That is a toss-up in the air like any cricket toss. You and I, we are months away from elections, so we don't have data on popularity ratings. And if the Karnataka election is any indication, that means that everybody has to earn it now. Nobody is, we are not in a state where everybody will be awed by any one person, whether it is Rahul Gandhi or Modi. So it's a very interesting battle ahead. As somebody who's a journalist, all I can say is that, look, there is a judicial battle and there's a political battle. I have tickets in the pavilion watching both, and it's a pretty evenly poised match as far as this particular case is concerned. If there are other issues, then I'm sure there are other programs you'll be doing on that.
You summed it up nicely, war of narratives, and there is a political battle and a judicial battle. That's all the time we have on the show today. Thanks to all our panelists for joining us, and thanks for watching Mojo Story.
We started Mojo right here in this basement. Just 4 people, 4. And now we're about to hit our first 1 million subscribers. So this is to say thank you to all of you for your support, for your respect, and for your encouragement. We've always gone to where the story is. During the pandemic, when television's big anchors were hunkered down in their studios or at their homes, we hit the road. We traveled from Delhi to Kerala, covering 30,000 kilometers in a small car, reporting from inside ICUs and inside slum tenements. Whether it's flash floods or war zones, we've always put our boots on the ground. In fact, we're just back from Punjab, tailing the Khalistani fugitive Amritpal Singh. And through all of this, we have always put you, the people, first. In an age of partisan polarized media where most journalists are either chamcha ya morcha, we believe the story is sacred and the truth of the story is what matters. And now as we get ready for the next step, we need your help. Become a Mojo member and get first access to all our big interviews. Get a chance to ask our newsmakers questions. Get a chance to write and report for us for both our website and our channels. And also, interact with me and my colleagues directly through AMA sessions. Literally, ask me anything. Click on the join now right next to the subscribe button, and yes, also subscribe if you haven't yet, and become a Mojo member for just 159 rupees a month. Hope to see lots of you in our community.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.